New tonight, the man arrested after a chase involving a reported stolen vehicle in Omaha waived his preliminary hearing for an unrelated charge.
Authorities arrested Kevin Biquette for warrants out of Sarpy County. The warrant came back from back in November, where documents show Biquette allegedly broke into and stole items at a Bellevue car dealership. The total amount of loss of items reached just under $7,000. Police arrested Biquette on Monday when officers were called to help with a traffic stop in the area of 138th and Millard Avenue. According to police, the driver, later identified as Biquette, refused to stop and then drove off. Several police precincts and air support followed Biquette as he drove off. During this chase, police alleged that Biquette drove recklessly and at high speeds. At one point, they say he hit another vehicle and then continued. The chase lasted about a half hour before ending in a neighborhood at 39th and H. We're told Biquette abandoned the car in an alley and then hid in a shed before finally surrendering.